Hello student. In the discussion we would discuss the remaining part of synthesis of sentences. We would start using infinite and gerund. You might have studied in earlier classes about what is called infinite and what is called gerund. Infinite is called when a preposition is used just after a verb is called infinite. And gerund is a participle form, present participle form, whenever it is used at the very beginning of sentence. For example, I am going to school. Here, going is present participle form, but if I turn this word going at first, then it would be gerund. For example, going going school I met Raju. Here going would become gerund, but in the sentence I am going to school. Going is present participle form. In front of going am auxiliary verb is produced. That is why going is present participle form here in the sentence. But going there or going to school I met Raju. Here going is gerund. Let's move to the example. He got a reward. He was very pleased. He was very pleased. Generally, we express whenever feel any satisfaction, we express that I am very happy to have got a prize, or I am very happy to have got a very golden opportunity to speak few words. Generally, we use such sort of sentence in our everyday life. But in case of sentence, let us see. He got a reward. He was very pleased. We can write it. He was very pleased to get a reward. You cannot write he got a reward to very pleased. No. He was very pleased to get a reward. Same sentence we can join using gerund. Getting a reward. He was very pleased. Meaning remains uniform. Meaning remains same. He was very pleased to get a reward. Getting a reward, he was very pleased. In the first sentence, I use infinite, that is two preposition in between two verbs, pleased and get. But in the next sentence, in the next example, I have used gerund. Getting a reward, he was very pleased. Next, the hunter looked over the rock. He saw the man-eater. The hunter looked over the rock. He saw the man-eater. Looking over the rock, the hunter saw the man-eater. You can also write, the hunter looked over the rock to see the man-eater. No matter. Next, use of or and conditional. How can we use or sometimes and conditional also? Conditional means whenever a sentence starts with the word if, then it becomes a conditional sentence. For example, if rain falls, I will not go. If rain falls, this part is conditional because the word if is added. Drive fast, you will miss the train. See, drive fast, you will miss the train. Drive fast or you will miss the train. It means if you do not drive fast, you will miss the train. Or you can write also, drive fast, otherwise you will miss the train. Speak the truth, I shall pardon you. Speak the truth, I shall pardon you. Speak the truth or I shall punish you. You cannot write speak the truth or I shall pardon you. Meaning would be wrong. Speak the truth or I shall punish you means if you speak the truth, I shall pardon you. Or if you speak the truth, I shall not punish you. No matter if you find problem in this sentence, you can put comment to my personal number. Moving ahead, in case of interrogative, why are you late? Tell me. We are to combine these two sentences. One part is interrogative and another is assertive. Tell me, is assertive sentence. That means a simple statement. There is no question mark. There is no exclamation mark. There is no imperative sense. Just a statement. It is called assertive sentence. Tell me, this part is assertive sentence, and this part is interrogative. Means interrogating, questioning. Why are you late? Tell me. Tell me why you are late. Whenever we find two sentences, one is interrogative and another is assertive, then we have to write answer in positive way. We cannot write, sorry, in assertive sentence. Whenever we find two different sentences, such one is in interrogative sentence and another is assertive sentence, we have to combine them into single sentence, and that single sentence should be assertive sentence. Tell me why you are late. Here I have written tell me why you are late. We have seen in the first sentence it is interrogative and second one is assertive. But whenever these sentences are synthesized, or I mean joined, then the entire sentence becomes assertive. Tell me why you are late. Dear student, please make sense of. If you write why are you so late, sentence would be wrong. To make it assertive, you have to put auxiliary verb are after the subject you. Tell me why you are late. But there is a little bit difference in the second sentence. We do see both the sentences are in interrogative. Do you know it is also interrogative, and where does he live? Both the sentences are interrogative. Then we have to write one part is interrogative and another part is assertive. Assertive. Do you know, this part is interrogative, where he lives, it is assertive. But at the end we have to put question mark. Do you know where he lives? Why I have written in interrogative sentence? Because in the question both the sentences are written in interrogative sentences, and because of that, to write the answer we have to write the sentence in interrogative sentence. Do you know where he lives? You cannot write do you know where does he live. Please boys, students, make sense of it. Do you know where he lives? In the first sentence we have seen why are you late, this part is interrogative. Tell me, this part is assertive. Because of that, one part is assertive and another is interrogative. In writing answer or in joining both the sentences, I have written the sentence fully in assertive sense. Tell me why you are late. Do you know it? Where does he live? In the next sentence, we have seen both the sentences are in assertive, and because of that, to write the answer, we have written it in interrogative sentence. But very careful to write the answer. Do you know, this part remains uniform. Where he lives, here does is given. I have removed does. If you write does here, then it would be wrong. Where he lives, I have made this part assertive and this part interrogative. Assertive, interrogative, interrogative. Uses of neither and nor. When can we use neither and nor to combine a sentence? Whenever in question both the sentences are written in negative, then we can use neither and nor. He is not intelligent, he is not brave. Both the sentences are in negative form, and that is why we can use neither and nor. He is neither intelligent nor brave. You cannot write neither he is. Very careful. After the auxiliary verb, we have to put neither. He is neither intelligent nor brave. Next, I did not meet him, I did not write to him. I did not meet him, I did not write him. Both the sentences are again in negative, and because of that I have written I met Nidarhim. Did is there, because of that I have put here met. That means meet becomes met because of past tense. Did is there. I met neither him nor wrote to him. Next, as well as he is sincere, he is intelligent. As well as is just opposite to neither and nor. As well as he is sincere, he is intelligent. He is sincere as well as intelligent. He is poor, he is honest. He is poor, he is honest. See, there is a difference. He is poor but honest, or he is poor yet honest. Here we have finished our synthesis of sentences. Moving ahead, we will move to a new chapter, and I request you all my students to continuously keep practicing, because I earlier told you that grammar is not a one-shot affair. It requires continued drill and practice. And because of that only, I again and again keep telling you to practice on grammar, because practice makes a man perfect. Please utilize this difficult situation. Please transform the difficulty into opportunity. It is the vital time to mold and build up your bright future. Thank you and have a great day.